full disclosure, we did not just see this movie. In fact, we saw it 3 times.
4. I'm quite certain I saw this 4 times.
Well, I saw it 3 times, and the last time was in April, which at the time of recording was 5 or 6 months ago. But it's time we finally talk about that movie, Isle of Dogs. So, Wes Anderson. I don't really agree with this, but a lot of people say that you either love him or hate him.
Which means there are good people and there are bad people.
I like him a lot. I've loved all of the movies I've seen from him. I liked this movie.
He's only capable of doing good in this world.
It's a stop-motion movie, which is my favorite medium.
It is the best underdog story I've ever seen in my entire life, and it's so beautiful, and there are so many interesting characters. Which dog's your favorite?
The one that had to eat his best friend.
Mine's the one that likes pistachio ice cream.
It's about a boy looking for his dog that was thrown onto this isolated island after dogs catch this new strand of disease that humans see as being dangerous. I'm just gonna come out and say it right now. I think this is the worst Wes Anderson movie I've seen.
I think it's one of my favorites. Possibly my favorite. You think this is one of his worst movies?
Out of the ones I've seen, yes. I mean, excluding like Bottle Rocket, which doesn't really count as a Wes Anderson movie. I think it's worse than The Royal Tenenbaums. It's worse than Fantastic Mr. Fox, Moonrise Kingdom, The Grand Budapest Hotel. I don't think it's better than any of them.
I think we're gonna have a fight right now. I can agree that Fantastic Mr. Fox and Grand Budapest Hotel are possibly better than Isle of Dogs. But I don't know if I can agree with anything else on that. I mean,
You don't think it's better than Moonrise Kingdom?
I've only seen Moonrise Kingdom once, so I feel like maybe if I rewatched it, my mind could be changed, but this movie had everything for me. And it had so much that we've seen before, but done in a way that you didn't even recognize it. And I loved every single character. I just loved the boy. I loved, not to sound cheesy, the dog and man connection, and the music and the adventure of it all, and every single dog you meet. Oracle.
The reason I say that is because, yes, all of the technical aspects of this film are perfect. That's kind of his style. But what the other movies have that this doesn't is a deeper message. And I might have missed it on my viewings. It was like missing that element of kind of elevating it to something more than just a really well-made movie.
Yeah, but I mean, it had so much to do with the media and the way the flu had been invented by people who had a preference of cats better. And yeah, it's a simple cats versus dogs, but that's what we fight about all the time in politics, is cats versus dogs. And so in order to win, they cheat and they...
That's not really what I'm saying. Like, all of his other movies have a deeper... They, like, delve deeper into more, like, human conditions. And this just didn't have that. This was just a very simple adventure movie.
So let's compare this to Fantastic Mr. Fox. I feel like I learned just as much about these dogs and where they came from and what that made them and how they coped with things. And the boy, I mean, I feel like I know so much about these characters. I loved seeing all the different dogs' reaction to, you know, how some of them crumble, some of them get strong, some of them are in a fantasy land of, oh, we're still eating pistachio ice cream and I'll be back with my owner someday. And I mean, what in Fantastic Mr. Fox do you feel like you learned that you didn't learn in this movie?
So in Fantastic Mr. Fox, there's a lot of comparison between instinct and desire. Mr. Fox, like, he really wants to go out hunting, but his wife needs him to be safe, so he doesn't. They do a lot of...
Animal versus human.
That's not really what I mean.
Just to smack you down here, Isle of Dogs is all about survival. So from the beginning, when you think there's a real epidemic and that there's nothing that can be done, you think the kids are just being foolish and the grown-ups know that survival is key and that this is the right decision. And then you watch the dogs as they go through their own forms of survival. You watch the young boy as he survives to save his dog, and then you watch him then change everybody's mind with the fact and the truth and the fact that boys and dogs are meant to be together. It's not that...
But what point is that making?
Well, what point is Fantastic Mr. Fox making? It's an observation of one of the crazy things we do, but put in a children's story. And that's the same.
I don't know. I'm not saying that this movie is bad. I did really like it. I just think that I like to compare people a lot, and I feel like Wes Anderson is kind of like this generation's Tim Burton. And I feel like the Grand Budapest Hotel might have been the peak. I really hope it wasn't, because I really hope it wasn't. But this movie it gets really close to like self-parody.
Can you give me an example of that?
It's just like he's doing what he already knows.
So you're saying he's broken down what he does to a formula and now he's going to copy and paste?
I guess that is a better way of putting it.
I really don't feel that way about this movie because I know...
Well, we won't know until he makes another one.
I mean, I know what you're talking about, but I see this as being its own unique Wes Anderson piece that hasn't been done before.
But it's not really that unique. It has all the same elements of his other movies, and they were done better in those other movies.
I really feel like Wes Anderson's movies... I mean, if you're breaking them down to that point, you could say they're all similar in style, but then they have different settings.
No, I don't mean style, I mean plot structure.
Okay, well, they're all kind of similar in structure, but they all have different tones and music and colors and characters and settings and...
This movie is just... like, it takes from what he's already done and just, like, makes a Franken movie out of it. There's like very little new material on this movie, and what is new is still really amazing.
I mean, this felt so...
It just didn't capture me the way that his other films have.
All of his other films have been so European, and this one felt so different from that. And it had so many different characters that I feel like I'd never been exposed to before.
Maybe that's the difference, because I've definitely been exposed to a lot of the character archetypes that were in this movie.
I mean, I guess if you simplify them, yeah, we've been exposed to characters like this before.
I liked the voice acting a lot. I said my favorite dog was Harvey Keitel's. I was very impressed with his performance.
Oh, I liked the Gossip Dog. I loved Oracle. She was hysterical.
I hope to see another stop-motion movie from him again. I really want to see Wes Anderson make a horror movie.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's serious. I don't care if it's a horror comedy. I just want to see him tackle that genre.
Well, what else did you like about it? Tell us more.
I really liked the visuals. A lot of the cinematography in this... I know a lot about stop motion, and I can't even understand how they filmed some of it. There's this shot near the end where they're filming like a first-person perspective, and it's like moving, like somebody's walking. I don't know how they would have been able to film that. Because, I know you know, but I don't know that everybody watching this knows, when you make stop motion, you have a camera, and you're taking 24 pictures for every 1 second of the movie. Which means that they're actually moving the camera, and not just like puppets.
My favorite was all of the dog's fur and the wind, and all of the backgrounds. I also really liked the music.
See, that's another aspect that kind of let me down. I really like Alexander Desplat. I like a lot of the other soundtracks he's been a part of, but this one was just so simple. It was a lot of drumming.
Is that what you didn't like? This movie was too simple?
Maybe.
Because I love a good simple movie, but very few of them are good. And that makes this a special pearl.
So why do you think this movie is better than his other movies?
I just feel like in something like Moonrise Kingdom, the characters are like odd and quirky, but to a point that I feel like I never really fully understand them. And the pilot is strange and quirky, but you sympathize with him so much. And
Okay, well, despite what this review might seem like, I would recommend this movie. I thought it was very well made. It's very enjoyable. There are a lot of really good qualities about it. I'm just scared.
I have faith.
I do recall feeling a little bit like this with the Grand Budapest Hotel, so maybe watching it more will change that.
More than 3 times.
Yeah, because I did see that one 5 times in theaters.
I'm just baffled. I don't know, like, I really thought you liked this one just as much as me.
I like it. Is this the end of Pal on a Puppet?